All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, Series Crypto. Sudeep, thank you for modding. Welcome in, TNB Willa. Welcome in. Okay, everybody. So Bitcoin is continuing to see that push up today. We talked about this in the last couple of live streams, both Wednesday and Thursday, that level between 116.2 and 116.6 was highly likely to be hit if we were able to break above the anchored VWAP at 113K and flip it to support. Then we were going to continue up to this next vital area of resistance where Bitcoin is coming into that area now. Now, on Monday, I showed you guys this range, and this is the bigger range that I've been looking at. We're looking at a few ranges here. If we turn on our lower range, this is our upper range that we broke down. We were in this for 5 weeks or so. We broke this down, came to the value area low of our bigger range. We also hit that pitchfork midline of the key pitchfork, bouncing from the pitchfork. Last time we hit that pitchfork, by the way, we did get a very, very nice reaction, multi-$1,000 pump to the upside. Now we are back testing the value area low of this range, which is very key here. Value area low, and we have a naked monthly point of control just above us that has not been hit yet, where we could see a reversal. If Bitcoin is going to put in a lower high, it's either going to be in this area here or above us in the next resistance area, where we could put in a lower high and then continue this overall bigger correction to the downside. And lastly, we were looking at that lower range. We broke out of that lower range earlier this week. This lower range here, bottoming range. Oftentimes, these bottom ranges form around the macro support levels. We did hit into that macro support level. Let's see. Let me throw this macro support level on the chart. We were looking at finding a macro bottom here and really seeing if we could get a bounce to all-time highs. That in our bullish scenario, that is the case. And because we are above that all-time high and still above the value area high of the 2025 range and back testing it bullishly and holding, we do have a higher probability to break out to make new all-time highs. The question is this correction done with? Was this it? And now we're going to all-time highs right now? Or are we going to see that larger three-wave move down before coming up to make new all-time highs? So for me, I do think still this does look more corrective. It's starting to get some nice volume pushing in here today. Let's go ahead and turn on our volume. Some nice big spikes in volume here. But towards the ends of moves, you generally do see spikes in volumes of ABC corrections or of complex corrections. So we're going to keep an eye on this. We don't have to know what Bitcoin's going to do. We mark out our levels. We wait for the price to get to our levels. And then once we get there, we take action if we have confirmation to take action. I will say this right now, we are coming up to that resistance, this purple box of resistance between 116.2 and 116.6, which is going to be our naked monthly point of control at 116.600. And for me, I have not shorted yet. I am not looking to short unless I have confirmation to short. And we do not see confirmation right now on the 4-hour time frame. Yes, we do have regional bear divs between these two highs. Higher highs here, lower highs here. Money flow still looks nice and bullish here on both NAMI and Market Cipher B. So with one drive of bull divs, I am not going to short against bullish money flow. If we zoom in onto the 2-hour chart, on the 2-hour chart, we are seeing some bear divs here on the chart regionally again, but that money flow looks very bullish. Bear divs on the chart regionally. Money flow looks pretty bullish here. We did just print a hidden bull signal earlier today off the rejection of last night's hitting into that purple box, but we printed that hidden bull div signal. Hidden bull div is a continuation signal, and I do think we have a high likelihood of at least hitting that 116.6 naked monthly point of control. So let's see here. Let's go into the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart is starting to form some bear divs potentially. We have not confirmed them yet. If we make a higher high into that naked monthly point of control and a lower high here, then we will see the bear divs and money flow is kind of draining out of the asset as we've been moving up the past couple of days here. Overall, I will say this. Bitcoin is looking pretty healthy here. And that breakout that we saw earlier this week, what day was that? On Wednesday, the breakout of our lower range here. And we even got a back test of the VWAP on that day. That was during Wednesday's stream. Let's zoom in onto the 15-minute chart. And during Wednesday's stream, we were looking right here as after we broke out of that value area high, we grinded our way down and hit that VWAP. And during the stream, I said there's a potential that we don't come down to 113 to actually backtest the value area high. But because our VWAP was so close to it, that we're just going to bounce from the VWAP and continue this trend up to 116 too. And that is exactly what has happened. Now we are coming up to this key resistance and we are going into the weekend. So if we are going to reject from this area, maybe over the weekend, we see a slow grind down to backtest 113. If we reject here, grind down to backtest 113, and then maybe continue up to our golden pocket point of control, naked weekly point of control up there, and then finally see the bigger rollover and dump. Don't know what's going to happen right now. The price action looks pretty bullish. Bitcoin, altcoins are breaking out pretty aggressively right now, breaking some key resistances. Some altcoins are at key resistances. But for me, I'm just watching, seeing, waiting for my levels, waiting for confirmation. We have to play it safe here. We have to know when to take action and when to not take action. So welcome in, everybody. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Let's zoom out a bit. I'm going to turn off some of these ranges and let's zoom out a bit here and let's talk about why this bottom could have been a very, very big bottom, the final bottom before pushing up to new all-time highs. So let's go onto the 4-hour chart. So we were looking at this range last week during the week as we were dumping down into that value area low. I showed you guys that this was the value area low of the range. It was also our 618 of the Fibonacci channel. Now, TradingView is being a little weird here. You can see right now it doesn't look like we hit it. But if we zoom out onto the daily time frame and we go onto the daily time frame and you can see that we did hit it. Let's now go back to the 4-hour. It's a bug that TradingView has. Sometimes if you zoom in after going out onto the daily, it will show that you've hit it. Sometimes it won't. We've got very close to it. Let's just say that. We got very close to our 618 Fibonacci channel of this entire bull market channel, this Fib channel that has guided us through the entire bull market here. Every major pivot has been called in this Fib channel. Now let's also go to our Bybit chart and let's talk about this pitchfork. This pitchfork has been a highly relevant pitchfork for over a year now. And we pulled this pitchfork based off of the big impulse. Actually, I'm going to go to the 2-day so we can get a better look at this. We pulled this pitchfork based off of when BlackRock, this is our wave 2 bottom, our flat correction in here on the daily time frame. We got our very big push to the upside, the biggest push to the upside of the entire bull market so far. And then we had that 2024 8-month-long correction to the downside. Now, once we formed that wave 4, we were looking for a wave 5 to finish and complete a 5-wave impulse, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've completed that. Now we're looking to see if we're going to see a bigger correction in here or if we're going to continue to see an extended 5th wave pushing higher. But this pitchfork was very, very important. And since we pulled this pitchfork, let's go ahead and take this range off for a second. You can see how well this pitchfork has been respected. It called the all-time highs back in January. We hit into the top of the pitchfork. We rejected. We then decided to lose our upper band, which held as our all-time high range. It was holding as support on the daily time frame. You can see some wicks past it, but for the most part, it was holding for months. But once we finally started to lose it, we came up, we back tested it, and then we dropped. Now, this little bit of price action here was from a Trump tweet about the Bitcoin reserve over the weekend. And it was a little bit of a news-based manipulation pump. But really, once we lost this midline here, you can see we lost the midline, back tested it 1, 2, 3 times, could not get above that midline. So what happens? We fall to the next major support level of the pitchfork. That 74K bottom, the pitchfork called bottom perfectly. We pushed up all the way to the upper band, rejected the upper band. Once we rejected that upper band, we did not see a back test of this midline after breaking above it here. We did not see that back test. So in a healthy market, oftentimes you will get the back test of these major levels. We saw our 3-wave corrective move down. We finally back tested that pitchfork midline. Once we back tested that pitchfork midline, pushed up again to make new all-time highs and push up into the upper part of the band. Let's just hide this here. Hit into the upper part of our band. We rejected the upper band, formed the ranges that often form in these bands, saw a nice move down, and then attempted again, just SFPing our prior all-time highs, and then we dumped all the way to the midline again. Now, the midline, just like the last time we hit into the midline, strong push-up, held perfectly, midline hit. So far, we're seeing a bit of a strong push-up here. And if we want to talk about that area of support, which we had marked out prior as a macro level of support that we could find a big bottom on to continue to new all-time highs, then we could be looking at this on the daily time frame as a potential impulse here. It's not the cleanest looking impulse yet, but that's a 1-2, and then we could be in our third wave pushing up, maybe to that 118K area, see a wave 4, and then we want to see a wave 5 pushing up, or we could even look at rejecting from 116.6 in our third wave, see a retracement down to 113, and then our wave 5 brings us up to that 118. Don't know what's going to happen yet. We'll be paying attention here, but Bitcoin does look pretty good. I think we are going to at least continue pumping here locally to actually come and hit that naked monthly point of control. So let's go back to the Coinbase chart. Naked monthly point of control is at 116.6, and we are on our way pushing right now. Money flow looks strong still on Market Cipher B and NAMI. And yeah, we're pushing. Keston, welcome in. False Prophet, what's up, man? Welcome in. And Jesus Save 77, welcome in, man. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you. Okay, let's check out the total market cap. Total market cap is breaking out of some key resistances, or breaking above a key resistance that we were looking at. So we were looking at this box here being close to the value area high of our macro range in confluence with that golden pocket retrace. And you can see what happened is we came to the top of the box. We rejected that golden pocket, but we came down and pretty much back tested the value area high. Let's pull this out. Let's pull this all the way now. A little bit of a front run on the back test of the value area high, but we're breaking out of the value area high of our 2025 price action. This goes all the way back. Excuse me, not 20. This only goes back to July. This is our smaller range. So our upper range that we've been forming since July. And we are pushing back up above that golden pocket and above the value area high of the range, showing continued breakouts here. And I do think that this could be the start of a nice big third wave to the upside. If we're looking from the bottom here, we have our wave 1, we have a flat and a wave 2, and then our wave 3 is pushing us up. We could see a 4, a 5 coming all the way up to test that pitchfork band again at 4.19 and take out our highs, in this case, the all-time highs, into that pitchfork band of the total market cap. Now, if total market cap is pumping, we have a lot of altcoins can run. So let's go to the Bitcoin dominance chart. Now, in yesterday's stream, I emphasized this strongly that I do expect altcoins to pump over the next couple of weeks, because we were seeing a very, very key breakdown in Bitcoin dominance. So let's go zoom out to the daily chart. We'll talk about for 2.5 years, almost 3 years here, we saw Bitcoin the star of the bull market. It was in this ascending channel, just dominance continuing to push up and up and up. We saw one fake out in late December of 2024 where the altcoins really rallied against Bitcoin. But after Bitcoin finally came up and hit the top of our channel, let's go on to the 2-day chart here. Finally hit the top of our channel. We got that big dump. We held the midline. Let me get rid of that. We held the midline. You can see here just a little bit of wickage past it. We came up to take out those highs, and then we had the big change in market structure. Now, this is what was key. This is what we really had been waiting for a year, is for us to finally break market structure bearishly by taking out our last daily lows. Now, once we took out market structure bearishly, we were looking, we actually bounced from the bottom of the channel. We saw a little bit of wickage pat underneath it, but bounced from the bottom of the channel. We came up to backtest those prior lows. And if you backtest those prior lows and reject from those prior lows, you can expect to lose the channel with volume. So our 2.5-year long trend has now been lost with volume. Now we came down. Our next major level after losing that trend was the golden pocket, pulled from the last big low when we bounced from our weekly channel midline. That dotted line right there is our weekly channel midline. And after bouncing from the weekly channel midline, we, made new highs. We lost the golden pocket from these lows to the highs. And after losing the golden pocket, we're looking for a back test of that golden pocket. So a lot of times what happens is when you have a golden pocket and you bust through it like this, you'll often come up to it and it will act as resistance locally. And if it rejects, then you can expect continuation to the downside. And I expect that Bitcoin dominance could drop to about 55.16% here. Let's zoom in now onto the 4-hour time frame. So very similar to after our big crash in dominance, our first big crash in dominance up here that was in June and July, pretty much a month, we saw this sort of ascending channel type structure, whatever you want to call it, a bear flag, whatever you want to call it, ascending channels type structure where we couldn't fully reclaim our prior lows and we started dumping again. Well, now after seeing a nice aggressive dump again, we are seeing that same ascending channel structure on the charts. We talked about this in yesterday's live stream. And if we started to lose the base of this channel, we could see a dump at minimum to the 786, which is about 57% dominance, and maybe a small bounce from the 786, but I expect us to continue dropping to 55% here over the next couple of weeks. So what does that mean for altcoins? That means altcoins are expected to rally against Bitcoin. And if we go in and look at the altcoins, a lot of the altcoins are really rallying today and over the past couple of days. Let's go on to Ethereum. Ethereum is pushing up. We're actually coming up into that resistance right now that we've been talking about. If Ethereum is going to put in a topping reversal pattern, then we could see a rejection in this general area. So be aware, but money flow does look really, really nice right now. And we might continue pushing up. The overall bias on Ethereum is to make new all-time highs. So let's zoom out on Ethereum onto the daily time frame. And we'll talk about Ethereum. Let's just get rid of that here. Let's see. What's my opinion on Chainlink, SUI, and AVAX? We'll go through all of those crypto series. Let me just cover Ethereum real quick, and then we'll go over all those. Abir, good morning, man. Welcome, welcome. Yes, sorry, Abir. I wasn't planning on going live, and the price is hitting some pretty key resistances, and I just said, you know what? I'm just going to go right now. I actually have a really busy day today. It's a family member's birthday. And so just going to go live. It's going to be a shorter stream, by the way, guys. It's going to be probably an hour to an hour and 20 minutes here. So that's why I'm trying to go fast through everything. But the markets are exciting right now. And, of course, they're always exciting when I have something very important to do. So anyway, Ethereum, we're at the top of our major pitchfork. Actually, I was going to explain the bigger daily time frame to you. Ethereum, once we found our bottom in our macro value area low of our 4-year long range. This goes back to May of 2021. So this big 4-year long range found a bottom at the value area low. We designed the pitchfork based off of the highs of this cycle to the lows of this cycle to the lows of the bear market. Now, once we pushed up and we formed a 2-week range within that lower band, which is often common to form ranges within the bands, we exploded out of that band above the midline, chopped around the midline for about 6 weeks. We did see a drop, and this was very, very key here, guys. Once we bounced from this area right here, I knew that we were going to keep pushing here. So hold on, let me ban this guy. Okay, there we go. All right, and so what we ended up doing, we bounced from our anchored VWAP from the lows. Now, in a trend, we want to see that anchored VWAP hold as support to show that that trend is going to continue. Because if we are going to lose that anchored VWAP from the lows, that means the trend could be reversing. But you can see we came down, we bounced from that anchored VWAP, reclaimed that midline, pushed up above the upper band of the pitchfork, and more importantly, above the value area high of our 4-year long range, broke out above the value area high of our 4-year long range. Now, after breaking out above that, we saw a bit of a correction to backtest that pitchfork and to backtest the value area high. Yes, we did dip underneath it a little bit, had 1 or 2 days underneath it. But upon that backtest, that bullish backtest, we were able to hold the band now as support, and we pushed up to the top of the pitchfork. Now you can see here, we're at the top of the pitchfork. The first time we hit into the top of the pitchfork, we did not take out our prior all-time highs. We had not taken them out yet. Let's see, that's not your all-time high. It's back there somewhere. We did not take out our prior all-time highs. We front ran them. Let me just get that up. Close enough. All right. So that was your all-time high here. Now, on that first back test here, or the first test of the top of the pitchfork, we front ran those all-time highs. So we saw a little bit of a 3-wave correction. Now we came up and took out the all-time highs. We took out the liquidity of the all-time highs. In doing so, now that we had taken the liquidity of the all-time highs, if we fell back inside the pitchfork band, it was going to be a bad sign. We fell back inside, we back tested it here, and then we dropped. Let me turn off these ranges so you guys can get a better look at this. Yes, so you can see here, fell back inside, back tested it, rejected, and came down and made new lows locally. Now we're holding the value area low of our local range, and we are seeing a nice aggressive push up here. Let's turn on that range again now. Not that guy, this guy here. And we'll zoom in onto the 4-hour time frame. So you can see Ethereum is in this upper range. Now, oftentimes towards the top of these macro pitchforks, we will form a topping reversal pattern, like a head and shoulders or like a model 2 distribution or a model 1 distribution. So it is absolutely possible that we could form a bigger distribution here and drop in our wave 4 down to the band or down to 3,500, which I would love if we came down there because I would swing long the crap out of this thing. But we are looking for overall new all-time highs, not just a peak above the all-time high for Ethereum. We're looking for new all-time highs by hundreds or $1,000 or so because of our Elliott wave that we're looking at. So zooming out back onto that daily chart, we saw from the bottom a very nice impulse up here in a wave 1. We had our wave 2 correction. Our wave 3 brought us all the way up to all-time highs. Now, our wave 4, we're looking for a 3-wave move to the downside in a wave 4, and generally it lasts about as long as your wave 2. Now, you could actually say this is your wave 2 here down. So we're looking for a 3-wave corrective move down, and we have our golden pocket at 3,900, but generally the 382 to the 0.5, and I'll repull these right now to make sure it's good. Yeah, it's good. So from the lows of wave 3 to the highs of wave 3, your retrace in a wave 4 is generally between the 382 and the 0.5. Now, if we look here at that 0.5, look at it would be a bullish backtest of the breakout of our 4-year long range. It would be the bottom of the pitchfork band. If we reject from the top of the pitchfork, just like many times, we'll oftentimes grind our way down to the next major pitchfork support level. And we have naked daily POC down there. We have some really good confluence down there. And our 382 is going to be coming in alignment soon here with the bottom of the top of the upper pitchfork band. So what I'm looking for on Ethereum overall is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pushing out and breaking up maybe even to $6,000, $7,000 overall in this bull market. But over the next couple of months, we could see a corrective move, a topping reversal pattern here, or a distribution at the top of the pitchfork, and then see a bit of a move down over the next few weeks to hit those support levels, and then see one last nice impulse up to in this bull market with a all-time high for Ethereum. So for Ethereum, it's you can see the bear divs on the chart multiple times, 3 higher highs, 3 lower highs here. Money flow is coming out of the asset. We are at the top of the pitchfork. I am looking for Ethereum short, but I am not short yet based off of how bullish our money flow is, based off of the hidden bull div signals that Nami is printing. If we zoom in onto the 1-hour chart, on the 1-hour chart, money flow on Market Cipher B and Nami looks good. No bear divs locally. Actually, we do have bear divs locally, but they're not one drive of bear divs is not going to overpower that money flow. So we are coming up into our box of resistance. Our box of resistance is right near, and let me get rid of this now. In yesterday's stream, we were looking to take out these highs and potentially see a reversal. Well, as soon as it happened, I posted in the Telegram, guys, I am not shorting this. No SFP. Looks strong, looks bullish, no confirmation, no short for me. So I hope you guys caught that message. That was one of the levels we were potentially looking at shorting. You can see we actually flipped it locally to support and continued pushing higher. So yeah, we're at the value area high and we're at the top of the pitchfork again. Actually, look at just now, we hit the top of that pitchfork perfectly again. But just above us is our golden pocket. And I do think that we could continue pushing a little bit higher until we hit that golden pocket. That golden pocket is at 46.70 to 46.94. That golden pocket would be taking out the liquidity of our internal highs. And a wick up, you can see these pitchforks, these macro pitchforks. Yeah, we do see some low time frame price action above and below them. So coming up to that 46.70 level. Now, if we are doing that, we're going to be breaking out of our value area high. So that's why this box is a general area between the golden pocket and the value area high, or the top of the pitchfork. We are coming up into resistance. Okay, let's see here. Daily breakout on NAMI, on Bitcoin. Okay, and then let's see what else you said. No, Sudeep, you're okay. I saw it pop up. Is that spammer? I saw him pop up. As soon as I saw him pop up, I was looking at my other screen and I got it real quick. No worries at all, Sudeep. Thank you for modding. Rocket DD, thank you, man. I much love from the States and welcome in from Australia. Can we have a pump at the rate cut rather than to sell the news? Yes, we can, Anthony. Now, it's going to depend. The rate cuts are next Wednesday, and we kind of already are baking in those rate cuts into the price movement. So if it's a 25% basis point rate cut only, and the market can see that as a little bit bearish or a little bit too small of a rate cut, then we might actually see a bearish reaction because they've already baked in somewhat of a 50% rate cut here, 50 basis point, not 50%. And so if we do see a 25%, we can see a sell-off. But if we do get that 50% basis point cut, then the market can continue to rally because that's good for risk on assets. And guess what? We might have been at the lows and we might be continuing to new all-time highs now. We just don't know. What we can look at is our key levels and look at confirmations once we get to them. Chad P, thank you for joining, man. Okay, so Ethereum coming up into resistance. We are not seeing any confirmations to short right now. So I am not shorting. I actually am looking for, let's set an alert right now on this internal liquidity, SFP, into the golden pocket. And how many times on this channel have I told you guys about a swing failure pattern liquidity grab into a golden pocket is one of the best setups in the world. And I oftentimes will take those with great success. So we want to see, if we're going to see the swing failure pattern, we want to see the pierce of the level hitting our golden pocket resistance. And then once we lose that level, you can enter short, put your stop, enter short at that SFP level. Stop would go below, above the wick, and we would be targeting much, much lower positions. Now, we have to be careful with this, though. And the reason we have to be careful with this, oh, my trading view alarm is on. I am sorry. Sorry, guys. I had no idea. I could not hear the alarm. I am very sorry about that. And it was ETH. Okay, sorry, guys. I hope that wasn't on too long. I'm really sorry about that. Hopefully you guys could hear me. Anyways, guys, so if we're going to see the SFP, we want to see the pierce above the level, the loss of the level. But if we do come up to this golden pocket at like 4,900, then we do have to watch out, 46.94, excuse me. Then we have to watch out for, because we'd be breaking out of this value area high. So we could come back test that value area high and continue the breakout. So I will be looking for the short on the confirmed swing failure pattern. But if we start to bounce from the value area high and hold it as support, I'll probably close out for a small win. Yes, everybody, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Very sorry about that alarm. We do have a few sponsors of the channel. We do have BYDFI as our primary sponsor of the channel. BYDFI is offering 20% discounts on trading fees and up to $8,100 in futures trading bonuses just for joining with my affiliate link. They are also offering really nice initial deposit bonuses. So if you deposit $100, you can get a 50% deposit bonus for depositing $100. And then they offer various 10 to 20% deposit bonuses based on how much you deposit there. Also, the more you deposit, the better your fees get, and they match the best in the market. So if you are interested, NAMI, link is in the description. Also, I have, not NAMI, BYDFI. Also, I have partnered with BYDFI to create a Telegram community, and this is where I post my market analysis and my trade setups for you guys. If to get into that Telegram group, all you have to do, it's free to get in, but you do need to sign up with my BYDFI affiliate link, and you need to deposit $100. So that $100 is your money still. You get to trade with it. You'll get a 50% deposit bonus. You'll get 20% discounts on trading fees, and you can get access to that Telegram community. The Telegram community link is in the description. All you have to do is click on that link, and then once you're there, you type in /verify and then your user ID here. This is your user ID, and then we'll automatically put you into that Telegram community. So if you're interested, links are in the description there. Our next partner of the channel is NAMI Trading. NAMI is a great momentum and money flow indicator that I use for entry and exit confirmations on my trades. They are offering a 50% off discount for a limited time. So if you use my affiliate link in the description and the discount code Divine50, you can get 50% off lifetime access to NAMI. They both links are in the description. And then we have MEXC. MEXC is doing this new user event where they've extended the period. You can get $30 bonus pretty much instantly just by KYC and register. You get 10. You deposit $100, you get 10. You trade $1,000 in your futures markets, and you'll get another 10. They're also offering discounts on trading fees and up to more bonuses depending on how much you trade in your futures markets. And then lastly, we have Bybit, which is one of the biggest, most reputable exchanges. They're offering up to $30,000 in futures trading bonuses depending on how much volume you move in those markets. So all the links to the exchanges and to NAMI are down below if you're interested. Now let's get back to the TA here. And yeah, Anthony, you're welcome, man. You know what? It's I'm new to this, and I get it. You know, I am small right now, but hopefully we'll keep growing. Hopefully, if you guys can share the stream and help me get out there, we can really grow a solid community here and kind of match some of the best in the business. Okay, so that was Ethereum. Now let's go into, let's see, Crypto Serious talked about, what was it? Link, yeah, Link, Sui, and AVAX. So first of all, let's go into AVAX real quick because AVAX is still at the same spot it was at yesterday. So yesterday during the stream, we had hit into the top of the pitchfork. Now, just like with Ethereum, the tops of these pitchforks are very strong levels. And once we reclaimed the midline, we kind of chopped around, fussing around with this band, this upper band. Let me just zoom out here a bit. Fussing around with the upper band, rejecting from the upper band a few times. We were able to hold the point of control of our macro range, and we pushed up. So you can see once we broke out of the value area high, look at that daily candle, that breakout. That is a strong breakout of the value area high of our bottoming range. Now, this is our accumulation range, like I talked about in yesterday's live stream. We did pretty in-depth analysis on AVAX yesterday. So accumulation range here. We absolutely could see a huge push up on AVAX over the next couple of weeks. And we are also back inside of our prior upper range here, this upper range that we were in for a year or so, a couple years. And so now that we've broken that range down, by the way, we bounced exactly from our 1-to-1 target. If we're looking at a bigger 3-wave corrective move down, we bounced exactly from the 1-to-1 target, showing you that this whole couple of years was more corrective. And now AVAX could really start to push up here. And so AVAX formed an accumulation range here. We could be done with it. A tap 1, a tap 2, a tap 3. Now we're breaking out of that range with volume here. We are coming up to the top of the pitchfork. Now, I do expect some sort of resistance at the top of this pitchfork or some sort of consolidation, which we are seeing right now over the past day, and a little bit of a pullback. We're pulling back to backtest a daily that we broke out of. but we haven't backtested the value area high since breaking out of the value area high. So if we do see a bit of a rejection here, a three-wave corrective move to come down to backtest that value area high in that pitchfork, I would look for a swing long opportunity from this area to not only bring up to your golden pocket up here, but we could be just seeing a much, much bigger push up here all the way, even above $50, $60 on AVAX. And breaking out of this accumulation range would be really, really nice. We are seeing money flow is looking pretty neutral on Market Cipher B. Now on NAMI, money flow is rising again. We have to be careful of one thing. We are making higher highs in the price action, and right as of this moment, lower highs in the momentum waves here. And also, our money flow could make a lower high in a bearish divergence on money flow. So if NAMI has momentum and money flow bear divs, that is a big sign. But we are not confirmed topped out on money flow yet on the daily time frame. So in other words, AVAX locally, we could see a bit of a pullback here. And then we might see a lot more continuation to the upside. We're forming a little range on AVAX after hitting into the top of the pitchfork. We're holding the daily. Every time we come down to that daily level, you can see bounce from daily. This morning, bounce from daily. And I am looking very, very locally at a potential short position here on AVAX. You saw that I had a golden pocket pulled from the highs of this small range to the lows. And you can see that golden pocket is coming in right where that internal liquidity is. And so around 29.4. So if we are going to form, if this was the high for the weekend and for the next week or so, then we oftentimes will form that range, reject from our lower high golden pocket, and then see a big push down here. So I'm going to be looking for that potential short from 29.38, but only if I have confirmation, because right now there is no confirmation. Well, we're not up there yet, but right now it looks bullish, and it looks like we might break out of this pitchfork. And if we break out of this pitchfork, no doubt we're going to $35, $34, $35 here. So I really do think that AVAX is looking bullish here, but locally a little bit of a pullback. Okay, let's go on to SUI real quick. SUI is coming up to that resistance. Now, we've been just chopping since our lows. Let me get rid of this now. That's no longer. Okay, let me zoom out first and we'll talk about SUI has a lot of potential to see a big, huge breakout on the daily time frame. So we had our lows back in April. We had a very clean 5-wave impulse to the upside. Then we retraced to our golden pocket and bounced from our golden pocket. Now we bought some spot down here. And we came up again. We took out those highs. We hit into our value area high of our big range, our range that goes back to November of 2024. We rejected from the value area high in a naked weekly point of control up here. After rejecting, we saw a 3-wave move down. You can see there. That's our channel. 3-wave move down, bounced from around our anchored VWAP. Yes, there was a little bit of wickage past our anchored VWAP, but we bounced from around our anchored VWAP, and we reclaimed the value area low of this upper range. All this range with the descending channel, all the price action within this descending channel. So after bouncing and reclaiming, let's now zoom in here a bit. 4-hour chart. You can see what happened. Let me get that range. Okay, your value area low is here. You can see it's where this point of control is. So we got above, back tested it, and now we're continuing to push up higher. Now, the next level that I'm looking at here is this golden pocket coming up around 377 to 380 because it's at the top of the channel. And there is no guarantee that this move is done. We could just reject from the top of the channel and come down to that 295. Because in the grander scheme of things, if we want to have a really bullish setup on SUI, we want to see a double 1-2 impulse. So we want to see a 1, 2. Now you have your internal 1. If we come to the golden pocket, that would be your internal 2. And then from there, you could get your big explosion in a wave 3 to make new all-time highs. Then you'd be looking for a 4, 5, 4, 5 to continue pushing. That could be your final impulse for the bull market, a double 1-2 impulse here. So, but we didn't come down to the golden pocket, which would have been nice. We had naked daily point of control, golden pocket at the bottom of the channel. Now it's no longer going to be aligning with the bottom of the channel. But to me, we could reject from this 280 golden pocket at the top of the channel and continue back down at least to your point of controls. If we back test these point of controls, flip them to support, I expect to come up to our next box of resistance. So let's zoom in now onto the 2-hour chart. And you can see this next box of resistance is our golden pocket pulled from the highs, the rejection from the value area high down to our lows. So this whole corrective move, it's the golden pocket of this whole corrective move. Now, at that golden pocket, we also have the point of control of our upper range, this upper range here, point of control, and we have a, let's see, there was something else there as well. I believe there was a naked weekly point of control there, or, yeah, naked weekly point of controls close by. No naked monthlies. And a daily levels there. So from like $3.93 to $4, 401. That box is going to be our next big box of resistance here on the charts. SUI is looking good. Now, more locally, let's turn off some of these levels. More locally on SUI, we have the parallel channel. Excuse me, guys. I had a brain fart there. So in this push up that we've been seeing for the last 2 weeks here, about the last 2 weeks, we're forming a parallel channel, and we're just chopping up in this parallel channel. Now, if you're chopping up in a parallel channel, ascending channel like this on lower and lower volume, that's a telltale sign of a correction. But we did get some nice volume that started kicking in here. I'm just a little bit concerned about the way this has been chopping up so far. We're not seeing really clear impulsive price action in here. I mean, we could look at this as a 1, 2, 1, 2, just like the bigger one that we're looking at. You have your big third wave here, 4, 5, 4, 5. We could be looking at a small double 1, 2 up to that golden pocket at 380. But I'm just watching the levels, so as long as we continue this trend here, this ascending channel trend, SUI will continue to push up. And if we break out of the bigger descending channel, what I would be looking for, if we're going to break out of the bigger descending channel, let's go ahead and hide this for a second, then I would be looking for the breakout, a small rejection from this area to come back and back test that channel, hold it as support, and then you get the big push up to the next major level of resistance. And even really pushing up and breaking out of the macro value area high above us. Okay, so that is SUI. Now we will go on to, what was that last? Chainlink, and then we'll do Solana. Solana is ripping now, like really good, looks really good. Chainlink, we are hitting into our naked monthly point of control and our daily level. Now, remember, I talked about on Chainlink yesterday, I think we're going to push up to this 25.8 area, 25.5 to 25.8. This is our upper range on Chainlink. Now, let's zoom out onto the daily first. So on Chainlink, very nice. And I have a lot of levels turned on. Let me turn off some of these levels here. Okay, Chainlink, there we go. Let's turn this off for a second. Okay, on Chainlink, we are also looking at a potential 5-wave impulse here, a bigger one, a wave 1, 2. This is your third wave. Now, all of this is your third wave. Within your third wave, you're looking for 5 waves within itself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pushing up here. Potentially all the way up to like $31. Now, and then that will be your third wave, and then you'll look for a bigger 3-wave corrective move, and then a 5. So a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pushing up here to finish the bull market for Chainlink. Maybe not finish the bull market, just finish that impulse. But for Chainlink locally, we are in this upper range here. So let's zoom in onto the 2-hour. Let's look at that 2-hour chart. And I said yesterday that after losing the value area low of the range, we formed a little bit of a bottoming reversal pattern here. We were able to reclaim that value area low. And I really all week have been emphasizing this pitchfork midline in red. I said if we reject from this pitchfork midline, we're probably going to drop to our next box of support. But if we can reclaim it, then we are going to probably most likely push up to our value area high of the range, right? You break back inside the value area, you back test that value area, you break the point of control, you back test the point of control. If you hold both the value area low and the point of control and break them bullishly, now we can expect that move up to the value area high. Well, the value area high of our range is where our golden pocket pulled from the highs to the lows is. And if we're looking at local resistance above, value area high, golden pocket, internal liquidity just above that, that is the level. And there's also a weekly in there as well. If we turn on our weekly levels, a weekly level in there. Now, a little bit before that, we do have our 786 in confluence with the daily. And I talked about this in yesterday's stream. We might see a bit of a small rejection here and a pullback to back test the pitchfork midline and then continue up here. But overall, I expect a continuation up to 25.8. So I will be looking for potential scalp short opportunities around this 25.15 to 17. And if we do not have confirmation, I'll wait until we get up here. If we don't have confirmation up here, I'll wait for a bigger breakout, continuing up to $29, $29.25. But Chainlink looks bullish here. Chainlink money flow is looking very nice and bullish on NAMI and Market Cipher B on the 2-hour time frame. We zoom out onto the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour bullish on NAMI, bullish on Market Cipher B. No bear divs on Market Cipher B. We are forming some bear divs on NAMI here. So we need to be aware that as if NAMI continues, because NAMI is quicker than Market Cipher B. So if NAMI continues to form bear divs as we come up to 25.8, and then Market Cipher B forms a bear div maybe like this, gives us a little bit of a rejection here, and those bear divs that form, then I will be looking for shorts if we have confirmations on those bear divs. But we also need our money flow to be topped out, and our money flow looks very bullish on the 4-hour time frame, on the 2-hour time frame. If we zoom in onto the 1-hour time frame, 1 hour is starting to get a bit bearish here. This is where we can see a little bit of a pullback from that daily or from the golden pocket. But you can see some bear divs here, some bear divs here, and money flow is kind of now starting to drain out of the asset here. NAMI, locally, we could form bear divs on money flow. Not quite clear yet, though. And we wouldn't expect that until we actually get up to our levels. Okay, 15-minute chart. Yeah, no bear divs. I guess very, very slight bear divs here. Very slight bear divs, and money flow is now draining out of the asset. No bear divs on NAMI, and we do have potential money flow bear divs, though. So we're coming up to that daily. Let's actually set an alert there. And guys, if my alarm is going off, I will try to remember to hear it. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to set an alert actually on this weekly as well. Weekly golden pocket short opportunity. That doesn't mean I'm guaranteed to take it, but I will be looking at a potential short there. Okay, now let's go on to Solana. Solana is pushing, guys. Solana is ripping like a beast. So yesterday in the live stream, I talked about this box here where we have a monthly. I said we have a very high probability of continuing up to this purple box. Well, we're even breaking above the purple box where we had our monthly level at 231.7, let's say, in confluence with our 786. But I also talked about the most important level within this box was our naked weekly point of control. Well, yesterday, and I updated you guys on the Telegram live as it was happening, we came up and we hit our naked weekly point of control. I TP'd my long right there, exactly at that exact level. I had a TP at 235.4. I wanted to front run it a little bit. And we saw a pullback to backtest the monthly, and the monthly held. And so now we're continuing, we're breaking above the daily even right now, and we're coming up to the top of the pitchfork. Now, I will say this, just like Chainlink, just like Ethereum, the tops of these pitchforks are no jokes, and you will form ranges or you will get pullbacks from them. Higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the momentum waves, money flow draining out of the asset. Very clear 15-minute bear divs on Chainlink, Solana. 1 hour chart. 1 hour, no real bear divs. Money flow looks good. Actually, it's coming up again here. We do have bear divs on NAMI. Well, actually, not really. Not really bear divs on NAMI on the 1 hour. And then if we zoom out to the 4 hour, 4 hour, no bear divs. Money flow looks pretty healthy on both of these. So I expect us to at least now continue at least moving up to 243, where the top of the pitchfork is. But overall, on Solana, we are continuing to break above the 786 of our Fibonacci retrace. Actually, let's zoom out to the daily. And then let me turn off some of these levels to clean this up. Okay, so we are hitting into the top of our pitchfork. We bounced from the bottom band of the pitchfork. We took a very nice long from that spot too. But I am concerned about this being an overall 3-wave corrective move, right? Like we had our big dump down here, and we pull a Fibonacci from the highs to the lows. We broke above our golden pocket. Okay, that was our 218 to 225 level that we rejected from the other day. We broke above that golden pocket. You can see hit the golden pocket, had a small rejection. Now we're breaking above. Now, if we look at this and turn on our 786 is coming up at 253, where we have a lot of resistance up there. But the overall, this could be a big 3-wave corrective move where you reject from the 786, and this being a ending diagonal to end your C wave, your A, B, C. C's an ending diagonal or a rising wedge, whatever you want to call it. But this does look really wedgy to me. And I am concerned about this rejecting from either the top of the pitchfork or from our next box of resistance. And if we just go ahead and turn on all of our levels. So let me say this. I expect Solana to continue at least up to 243. We're very close to that. I understand we're very close to that already. It looks bullish still. And the next level I'm going to be looking at is between that 252 and 256. So you saw that we had that 786. Let me repull that. 786 Fibonacci. Now, this is the non-log 786 on a log scale, and that is more than a 30% move to the downside. So the 786 is not my highest level because this move down was a 67% move to the downside. So because it was a 67% move down, you should click on this and you should hit fibs based off log scale. Okay, and that was where our 786 was in alignment perfectly with that monthly level. But you can also look at the non-log scale fibs. A lot of people don't know to do that, so they're looking at the non-log scale fibs. And if we turn on our levels, monthly levels, we just broke above our monthly at 231. No monthlies there, but we turn on our weekly levels, 252, perfect confluence with the 786. Okay, now let's turn on our daily levels, 256, the top of the box. Okay. Now you see where this box of resistance come from, but let's turn on some more levels. Naked monthlies. Oh, we have a naked monthly at 256. Naked monthly is a very, very strong level of resistance. It's a volume level. Naked weeklies. Do we have a naked weekly in there? Yes, we have a naked weekly in there as well. Do we have a naked daily in there? No naked dailies, but we have a naked weekly, naked monthly, daily, weekly, 786, all within this next box of resistance between 252 and 256. So that is the next major area of resistance that I will be watching on Solana, with 243, being a level where we could see at least a small pullback from the top of the pitchfork. In here, 243-ish. If we do pull back from the top of the pitchfork, we could see a 3-wave move down to backtest this low upper band, break the upper band and come up to here and finish that rising wedge at the 786, and then we could see a bigger move down. Oh, good evening, Mark Dutch. What's up? And welcome home, honey. It's good to see you. Okay, so that is honestly what I'm looking for on Solana, but Solana breaking above this box here monthly level 786. We had our naked weekly point of control. And that naked weekly point of control, let me just tell you how bullish this was yesterday. So zooming back in onto the 15-minute chart, I did take profit here exactly at this level right here. When we hit into that, and I updated in the Telegram, we're rejecting from this naked weekly point of control. But we rejected from the naked weekly point of control, and we came back to backtest that monthly level. The second we backtested that monthly level, it confirmed a flip to support, and now we've continued higher up to our next major, a breaking above our daily at 238. What I will say about this is since we've backtested, look at where we backtested that monthly. We are forming bear divs now on multiple drives with money flow draining out of the asset since we have backtested that monthly. So some exhaustion is starting to happen here. That is why I think because we are seeing such bullish 4-hour money flow, 8-hour money flow, higher intermediate time for money flow, I think this is going to continue up to that 253 to 256 or 252 to 256. But because we're seeing lower time frame multiple drives, we could come up to the top of this pitchfork, reject that pitchfork, let some of those low time frame bear divs play out, even just coming down to take out these lows or coming down to take out these lows here. We could see a bit of a range form here, take out those lows and then continue back. Take out the pitchfork band and then come back. Yeah, so sorry guys. Yeah, I know that was distracting. But yeah, so Solana's looking really good. Looking really good here. I just let me just say this. Let's go back to Avalanche and let's look at what happened to Avalanche when it hit the top of the pitchfork yesterday. Hit the top of the pitchfork, and since then we've kind of been on a downwards trajectory here. Now it's not very far down, it's just a small range that's forming, but the tops of these pitchforks really are strong. And let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum, now we have to zoom out on higher time frames for Ethereum because this is a much larger pitchfork, but hit the top of the pitchfork, and now we're struggling here at the top of the pitchfork. You see we formed a large range in the lower band. We formed a range above the midline. We backtested the upper band. Now we're at the top, and we're forming a large range at the top. The thing that I'm worried about here is this could be a distribution range. Tap 1, tap 2, tap 3 in a Model 2. And if it's a Model 2, you often reject from the box that we're coming into right now at that golden pocket value area high, top of the pitchfork. Or if this is going to be a tap 1, then you'll make one more high up here, tap 1, tap 2, tap 3. And then if we lose it, I will be looking for a bigger short, a bigger push down. And like I've been saying for weeks on the channel, a push down to that 3,500-ish level, 3,530 to like 35 or 3,489. This box of support down here is such a nice box of support. So if we're looking at that bigger 5-wave impulse, a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, 4, and then a 5 pushing us up maybe even to 7K, coming down in a wave 4, seeing your distribution happen here, a distribution happen, and then a 3-wave corrective move down, either to your 382 or to your 0.5. Really, the 0.5 would be great because you'd be backtesting that 4-year long range value area high. This for me would be an ultimate swing long position. You could, swing long 3,500, bring it up to $7,000. That would be so nice to see. $6,000, $7,000. So, yeah. Anthony, where did I learn all this? I've learned this. I've never ever taken a course in my life. I've learned this all from other streamers, and I've done a lot of research on my own too. Like Coons told me about Elliott Wave International, so I learned some of Elliott Waves from Coons Trading and from Elliott Wave International. Jason Casper, I've been in Jason Casper's Discord for 5-6 years. I've learned a lot from Jason Casper and some of the coaches that were in there. My first teacher ever was Bitcoin Hyper. He has a YouTube channel as well. He's from Sylvania. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. He is a trader that is really good as well, professional trader. So I've really learned a lot of these different techniques and things just through watching live streams and learning on these live streams. You do not have to buy expensive courses to learn. Now, yes, it shortens the learning curve if you do. Frankie Candles. I've learned a lot about volume profiles from Frankie Candles. Andy Bitcoin Consensus. These are the main guys that I follow and watch. They're real traders. You can tell they're real traders. You can tell they understand risk management. But once you kind of learn how to do analysis, trading is about patience and discipline. Once you learn what levels to look for, now it's about learning to wait for the market to come to you, being patient and sitting on your hands, waiting for the market to come to your levels, and then waiting for confirmations to be hit or not, or to be there or not. And then it's also discipline to not risk too much, to use proper risk management. It is a simple idea, but difficult to do. Simple does not mean easy. Simple, but difficult. Okay, let's go to the 1 hour here on Ethereum. Yeah, Ethereum is hitting the top of this pitchfork, guys. I really like this box that we're coming up into. It's the value area high of the range, top of the pitchfork. I would like to come a little bit higher. We have that alert set on this swing failure pattern into the golden pocket. So if we get that SFP into the golden pocket and then lose that, I'll look for a short, and then I would hope we get a nice big push down here. It's like dating. Watch live streams, you learn all about women. Yeah, just don't paper trade. Yes, I actually, Mark, that's actually a good point. I actually agree with Mark. A lot of traders will recommend you start out paper trading. Now, I don't necessarily recommend that, because if you're paper trading, it's fake money and you have no emotions involved. What I do recommend is start out trading with a small amount of money, where if you lost every penny of it, it's not going to break you. It's, you're not going to be able to not make rent or not pay mortgage. So what I would say is, like, if $1,000 is a small amount of money to you, $500 is a small amount of money to you, where it would hurt if you lost it, but it wouldn't kill you, it wouldn't bankrupt you. Throw 500, throw $1,000 into an account and trade with that, using proper risk management, learning to trade with that. That way you actually have your emotions invested in it, because revenge trading, all that stuff will come into play. And then if you can grow 500 into 5,000, if you can't grow 500 into 5,000, then you won't be able to grow 500,000 into 5 million. It's all about learning the process first. And so, but with real money, we'll get real emotions involved. Yeah, emotions are important for sure. Okay, so we covered Chainlink, we covered Sui, we covered Solana. Say is coming up to our box of resistance as well. So a lot of these altcoins are coming up to our resistances as we're coming into the weekend. Now, to me, this is a little bit awesome, because we could take a scalp short from these and then look to continue scalp short. Once we get to support, look to flip long again. So I'm actually looking to, now that we're coming up to the weekend, the price action is going to be slow, looking at some of these resistance levels for potential shorts. Now, right now, I am not seeing confirmation for shorts, but on say, higher highs in this price action, lower highs in the momentum waves, money flows draining out of the asset, coming up to our 786, coming up to the value area high of our big range. Now, this range, say, has been trading so nice, guys. We longed say right when this was actually like one of my last weeks in Casper's Discord, as streaming in Casper's Discord. I'm still in there. I still love him, still love that community so much. But we longed this back test of the pitchfork midline. And say here, let's just talk about say for a second. On the macro time frame, I'm very bullish on say, because what happened with say, let's hide these for a second. Let's clean up this chart. On say, we had our bottoming, look at right into the one-to-one, just like AVAX, right? A big three-wave corrective move, okay? Big three-wave corrective move into your one-to-one, not taking out the lows. You made your corrective move into that one-to-one, and then once you hit that one-to-one, it was also the bottom of our pitchfork, of our bearish pitchfork, pulled from the all-time highs down to your first major lows, down up to your first major lower highs. We hit the bottom of the pitchfork and the one-to-one target. Look at this accumulation, this super nice, super clear accumulation that formed here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, or tap one, tap two, tap three. This is Wyckoff accumulation at the bottom of a major range, at the bottom of your pitchfork, at your one-to-one Fibonacci extinction target. Couldn't be more beautiful. Like this almost looks unreal. It's so beautiful. And once you got that break of market structure bullishly on the daily by taking out these highs on the daily, you back tested that midline, you back tested the lower band, you came up to the midline, you rejected the midline. Once you rejected the midline, you grinded your way all the way down to back test the bottom of the lower band. Once you hit the bottom of the lower band, You break up. You actually did reject here the midline again and saw a nice big drop from the midline after rejecting again, but we broke above it. Now, once you're breaking above it, that was also the value area high of this low accumulation range. So if we look at this accumulation range here, value area high of that range, right? That's where we rejected here. Let's pull this to here. Yeah, value area high was right at that pitchfork midline. So once you reject that value area high, we came back, we back tested the point of control. The point of control held as support, and then we saw the breakout of the accumulation range. Now, this is the most important thing that we're looking for on AVAX right now, guys. If AVAX can break out of the value area high of the accumulation range, AVAX could see something very similar to what SAY just did a couple months ago. You break out of the value area high, you back test the value area high and the pitchfork midline, now flipping both of them to support. Once you flip them to support, you work your way up to the upper band. Now, we longed this 2467. I remember exactly the day, 2467 right here. At 2467 was a local golden pocket in confluence with that midline. We longed it, and my take profit from that long, I said, was 38 cents. Why 38 cents? Because if you pull a fib from the highs of the pitchfork to the lows of the pitchfork, and you turn on your golden pocket, now you're going to say, no, golden pocket's way up here. No, that is a 60, 70% drop. So what you have to do is you come in onto this fib, you click based off log scale, because we are on log scale, and then look at it drops it to 38 cents. Well, where was our golden pocket? Perfectly in alignment with the top of the pitchfork band. Once we came up to that golden pocket, top of the pitchfork band, guess what? Take profit on the long from down here, flip short. We saw a very nice three-wave corrective move down, making a higher low, and then we rejected the pitchfork band again, the top of the pitchfork band again. Well, now another higher low. We're coming up to the pitchfork band again. So if we reject it again, I expect us to at least come down to the bottom of the pitchfork band. But if we can break out of the top of this pitchfork band, well, where are we going? We're going right up into this weekly, or yeah, I would say probably right up into about 45, 46 cents. Top of the pitchfork, your weekly level up here. So SAY is just trading so beautifully here. And I do think SAY is going to continue this breakout. We had a very clear accumulation. We had a breakout and a back test of that accumulation. And now we're forming another range. So this is the local range that I've been following for the past couple of months here. So now after the breakout of the pitchfork midline, which was here, right? So now we're going to take a volume profile of all of the volume of that range. This range, you can see right as soon as we broke above the pitchfork midline, now we're forming another range up here. Okay, well, guess what? We bounced from the value area low of the range a couple weeks ago on September 1st, where we broke above the point of control. We're coming up to the value area high. Now, if this range is going to continue for a little bit longer, this is where we're going to reject. It's the top of the pitchfork band in confluence with your 786, in confluence with your value area high. And simple as that. Simple as that. That's our resistance coming up here. You can see it's our resistance coming up. It's a definite zone because the 786 was just tapped just now. Actually, I think I just hit a take profit on my long position here. Let me check this out. Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta answer this. I'll be just 1 second. Okay, and I've got about 15 to 20 minutes left before I got to leave, guys. I'm really sorry. I know it's going to be a shorter stream, but it's my daughter's birthday today, so I am going to be doing things. Okay, so yeah, hitting into our 786, hitting into the value area high of the range right now. I just took 50% profit on my long position on SAY. And this is our box of resistance if we're going to reject. I know, no personal calls at work, right? Ugh. If we do not reject and we break above this pitchfork band, I mean, yes, we have some levels that we'll reject from. We'll probably see a nice big push up, rejection, and continue pushing up here. But I think Say looks really good. And the big thing is, guys, if we break out of this bearish pitchfork, whenever you have a bearish pitchfork like this, like see these nice rejections from the midline, midline, midline. If you break after seeing 3 high time frame rejections from this, if you break it, you shoot up to the next level. You push. Now, if we break above the pitchfork, we're going to shoot up and take this liquidity. Most likely, shoot right up there, take that liquidity at what is that? A dollar or 74 cents ish. So, yep, Sui's looking so nice, so good, trading so well. Okay, let's go. Let me check the chat here. Don't touch my puck. Yeah. Oh, Dewald. Dewald's really good as well. Dewald and Andy, the very very good. Very good. Yeah, emotions though should largely be ignored and paper versus real money. Okay. Yeah, Dewald's great. Mark Dutch is a mod for everybody. Like literally everybody. Please hit the like button, guys. If you get anything, if you've learned anything from the stream or got any insight out of the stream, please hit the like button. That really helps me out, and I do appreciate that support as well. Okay, so let's go into BNB. We'll do BNB right now, and then Tia. So BNB is really really nice. We're coming up to hit our pitchfork midline right now, and I talked about this in yesterday's stream. I am looking to come up to like that 927 to 930 level. The BNB has quietly been one of the most bullish coins of this entire bull market, breaking out. But you can see this bullish pitchfork that we have pulled, and we rejected the upper band. We came down to the bottom. We bounced from the bottom. We came up to the midline. We rejected the midline. We came down to the bottom again. We bounced from the bottom. We came up to the lower band. We rejected the lower band. Came down to the bottom again. This held it again. Came up to the upper band. In that upper band, we rejected multiple tries on the daily time frame to get above that upper band. Came down to the bottom a 4th time. The bottom held 4 major lows. Okay, the bottom of the pitchfork. Then we were able to bust up. We did front run that midline just a bit. Back tested the upper band. What used to be considered resistance is now flipping to support. We flipped what used to be resistance into support, and we finally came up and hit the midline. Now we are coming up to the midline again. So the thing with BNB is it is at a major resistance. That midline is going to act as a major resistance, and we could see multiple rejections of the midline, just like we saw multiple rejections of the lower band. But if we can break above that midline and flip that midline to support, very similar to what Say did, then we expect to move overall to the upper band. Now, I'm not saying we're going to go straight there, but we are in price discovery, and if we do this, expect something like that. I think I am closely watching because we do have bear divs forming, and money flow has been draining out of the asset here. Bear divs. Now, money flow on NAMI looks pretty good. But if we come up to that 927 to 930 level, which we're pretty much there. Oh my gosh, we're hitting it right now. Perfect hit of that pitchfork midline. No real confirmation to short yet. But I am looking for a potential short from this exact area. Actually, I had an alert. Oh, let me do this. I'm pretty sure I had an alert set here. But that's where I'm looking for a potential rejection on BNB right now. Let's check out the 15-minute chart. Oof. Yeah, no short yet. And actually, you can see we would like to come up a little bit higher. 926 to 927 ish. Let me check something on this. Yeah. Okay. So BNB looking bullish, looking like it wants to. It's coming up to resistance. So be aware that we could form another, even if it's a small pullback, we could form another pullback in here. And it does look kind of wedgy at the end here, a little bit wedgy in this. So be aware that this could be a big rejection area. If we flip that now, when I say a flip, I mean a daily candle close above. We want to see that daily candle pierce this level, pierce this midline, close above, and then the next day we'll look for a low time frame back test and then a continuation. And honestly, that's kind of all that I'm looking for on BNB. We're in price discovery on BNB at all-time highs right now. Very similar to Solana, we could be looking at a bigger three-wave corrective move here. Uh, it's tough because you can't have a corrective move that's gonna maintain that long above your all-time highs. So I would say we found a nice bottom here, and now we are potentially forming a big impulse up here. Like BNB could be at $2,000 by 2026, 2027 or 2028. However, Belgium is better in hockey, and then 3-2-1 ban. Oh man, that's funny. Okay, let's see. Tia, we'll go into Tia. I really want to look at this here. No bear divs. I mean, like, there's not really any bear divs. Okay, on Tia, we did cover Tia yesterday as well, and we talked about how we were in this descending channel on Tia. We held the value area low of our lower range here, of this lower range, and we broke above the point of control. You can see multiple rejections of this point of control. Let me get rid of this. Multiple rejections of the point of control, but we were able to break above it and even very low time frame back test it. And then now we pushed up. We actually haven't hit value area high yet. So because we haven't hit the value area high, I expect us, and now that we're breaking out of this descending channel here, I expect us, we break out, we back test it. We should at least continue up to take out those highs into the value area high. So that is going to be about 194, 195, like 194 to 195. I would say 195. If you SFP this, that is a short trigger. Let's set an alert here. Um, SFP SFP into value area high. That could be a short trigger there. If you SFP that high into the value area high, you could see a short. But if we break this value area high, then I expect we're probably going to shoot way up. I mean, okay, we took out those highs there. Oftentimes, when you break a descending channel like this, you will come up to at least sweep the liquidity of the second pivot of that channel, if not the entire pivot liquidity. Excuse me. So let's pull a golden pocket here. Yeah, I mean, your new golden pocket that actually hasn't been hit yet is right at that value area high, because that golden pocket is pulled from this high down to this new low. So it hasn't been tested since we made this new low. That golden pocket right there is at the value area high, 194 to 195. TIA almost is, I would say we're going up there. I mean, look at the money flow on this thing. Shoot, I might try to look for a scalp long to that area. You know, if you come back and you back test this VWAP right here and you bounce from this VWAP, you could look for a long pushing up to there. The thing is, your risk management. So, like, if you long the VWAP, stop would go below this low, like here, targeting. I mean, that's a decent, a 3 to 1 risk reward ratio for a scalp. Not too bad. $181. It's about $181. Okay, guys, I've got about 5 minutes left. So if you want me to look, let's look at Bitcoin for a few minutes. Yeah, okay, Bitcoin is finally coming up to hit that naked monthly point of controllers. It hasn't actually hit it yet. We're right there. We're right there. Be aware that we could see at least this be your week high, and over the weekend we could pull back a little bit. If we break this and close the daily above 116.6, I think we're moving up to that 117.4 to 118 where our golden pocket is. We have a naked weekly point of control up there at 117.8, let's just say. Naked daily point of control. And a, okay, we do have a daily at 117, but I don't think that daily is going to do too much for us. But let's zoom out onto the 6-hour chart, and you pull that golden pocket. You can see that golden pocket's there as well. So golden pocket, POC, naked weekly POC. Yeah. Naked weekly POC's up there. I want to make sure this thing is spot on. So pretty much 117.8, let's say that. Wow. It Bitcoin is attempting to break above the naked monthly point of control, but be aware because you will off, like, look at this money flow. Holy cow. Is Solana coming up to the top of that pitchfork? Not quite yet. Solana's bear divs don't look good, guys. Solana has some pretty big bear divs here. Yeah, 30-minute bear divs. Money flow's coming out now. Bear divs. So I'm gonna look for a bit of a pullback from 243 on Solana. I might try to short that. I'll let you guys know. I have a very busy day today, so I'll try my best to keep you guys updated on these levels. But just go back if you're not sure. Go back and watch the stream. Look at the levels and just be aware. You know, like all these coins are at resistance now. Bitcoin is at its resistance right now, attempting to break it, but be aware of some wickage. Ethereum pretty much at its resistance, is at the start of its resistance. The SFP would be nicer into the golden pocket. Solana at the top of the pitchfork, right about at the top of the pitchfork. Sui is close to its 377 to 380 golden pocket, which is resistance coming up at the top of the descending channel. Say is coming up to its 34.35 resistance, looking like it just hit the 786. BNB at its resistance. AVAX is not. AVAX hit the top. AVAX, I think, is at least going to come up to grab our lower high gold. AVAX, I expect some range to form in here, even if it's something like that. XRP, I'm sorry, we forgot to cover XRP. XRP, guys, is looking really bullish right now. So this box here was our most important. And thank you, Mark Dutch. I appreciate that. Thank you, Sudeep. I appreciate that. It's a big one for her. So this resistance here was resistance for the last week or so, really acting as resistance, but we broke above it, broke out of the descending channel. We back tested it this morning and we're pushing. I think XRP could be about to explode because this descending channel we've been in for a while here. And we bounced from the bottom of our range. We are reclaiming the POC so we can expect to move up to value area high. And if we pull a fib from the highs to the lows, that golden pocket is right there. So golden pocket value area high around 325 is going to be your next big push up. I think XRP could be about to push because what happened? We broke above our monthly level. We broke above our big box, like this box on the chart that I've had, this purple box right here. Look at how many. We had a naked monthly point of control, a naked weekly point of control, a naked daily point of control, our multi-month range point of control, and a monthly level, and the top of the descending channel. Rejection, 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 break above, back test, explode. Yeah, Mark, it's definitely intense having kids in general, but especially girls. So yeah, XRP, guys, I really think XRP is going to move up to between like 323 and 328 is our next big box of resistance here. Golden pocket value area high. And then the next big one comes in at like 345. All right, guys, have a good weekend. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please hit the like button on your way out if you haven't. And I will be back. I'll try to keep you guys updated in the Telegram throughout the weekend. But I generally don't trade too much on the weekend, especially if it's a special weekend like this weekend. But the markets are moving. And remember, dominance is dropping. Altcoins are taking off. But a lot of altcoins are at resistances going into the weekend. So even now, having small pullbacks over the weekend would be nice to see small pullbacks and then continuation next week. With FOMC coming next Wednesday, it's going to be a major catalyst. If we get rate cuts, major catalyst. So thank you all. Love you all. Thank you, Mark Dutch. Thank you, Sudeep, for modding. False Prophet, thank you for partnering